I want to just give you a really easy illustration to help you with life. In Ephesians 5:15 and 16, it says, "Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil." Now, most of us have heard that opening from Days of Our Lives that says, like, sands through the hourglass. Well, that actually came from Socrates. Socrates said that our lives are but like grains of dust passing through time. And here's what I want you to remember when it comes to that idea of Galatians 5:16, living in wisdom. Listen, you and I have choices. And if you think about life, this is the future. These sands represent what's coming up, what's getting ready to arrive. This sand represents what's past. And this sand right here represents the present. So here's the question. Are you going to live in faith knowing that God has the future in control? Are you going to walk in faith knowing, you know what, God, I know you've got this. That doesn't mean not planning, not thinking about it. Or are you going to live in the past with regret and unforgiveness and regret about things that have happened, or looking at the past or continually focusing on it? Or are you going to live in faith and in thanksgiving in the present? I want to encourage you to think about an hourglass of your life. And as you go through life, realizing you can't change the past. Every time you replay that in your mind, all you're doing is rehashing the same memories. So instead of that, forgive. Move on. Give your past to God. If you need to ask someone forgiveness, go ask forgiveness. Make things right wherever you can. The Bible says, as far as it depends on you, be at peace with everyone. Of course, it doesn't always depend on you, but you do your best to be at peace with everyone. And then, what do? You trust God in the present. When it comes to the future, Jesus said, don't worry about the future. Give it all to Him, knowing that He's going to take care of you. So I want to encourage you. Live in the present. Live in the moments. Socrates was right when he talked about our lives being like the hourglass, but Paul in Ephesians talking about living with wisdom, that means this: making the most of every opportunity. You can't make the most of every opportunity when you're living in the future, wondering what's going to happen next and worrying about what's next. You can't live in the present when you're worried about the past and you're frustrated about something that happened, or you're thinking about someone who hurt you. Forgive and move on. Trust God with the future and live in the present, being thankful. So the next time somebody comes up and starts to talk to you, instead of worrying about what you're going to say next, or instead of thinking about something that happened in the past, be present where you are and say, God, thank you for these moments. Help me to live in wisdom. All right, there's your thought for today, Ephesians 5:15 and 16.